Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight, talking all about WWE's Monday Night Raw with the Raw preview for tomorrow. I know that I listened to Wrestling Observer this morning, and I listened to Wrestling Observer Live this afternoon, and both of these shows talked about the fact that WWE Monday Night Raw is not saying that John Cena is going to be in attendance. They're also not saying that The Undertaker is going to be there. Honestly, I know that WWE is hyping up the fact that John Cena is going to make an appearance on Tough Enough this week, and I think that has a lot to do with John Cena had surgery to try and repair his nose, and more than likely he's trying to get into the ring, trying to test out how much cardio he's going to be able to do to push through this SummerSlam match against Seth Rollins. I know that when you bust up your nose, it takes a lot of your air passageways, and getting air into your lungs and not getting blown up is going to be a big thing for John Cena to get into shape for this SummerSlam match. There's some people that are even crazy thinking that John Cena versus Seth Rollins is going to copy Ring of Honor's last championship match between, I believe, Roderick Strong and Jay Lethal, where the match went to a 1-hour draw. Honestly, I know that WWE SummerSlam did get pushed from 3 hours to 4, but I don't think that they're going to be running an Iron Man match or just a 1-hour match in the middle of it. I know that people love wrestling, and they love when people actually really wrestle on the shows, even though they're not allowed to call them wrestlers. But I think there's a sort of a limit of too much wrestling. I know that when I watched the Survivor Series match, which I believe went 45 minutes last year, the Authority going up against Team Cena, I thought that 45 minutes was a little bit much for one match because, you don't really want to get up in the middle of it. You might have to get you go to the bathroom, you might have to get a drink. I'm not a big fan of Iron Man matches. They've just never really gotten to me. Brett versus Shawn, I'm sure if you watch it and you really pick apart, the wrestling, I'm sure it's great. And I'm sure you really can't say that those guys messed up a lot. I know when you watch the Brett versus Shawn documentary that they did with JR, they talk about how when they mapped that out, Brett planned it, all right, when we get to here, there's going to be 10 minutes left on the clock, and you look at these guys in the match, both look at the clock, and the clock ticks right to 10 minutes. It was almost like they knew right where they were going to be right when they were going to do it, so there's nothing wrong about the match. It's just not a match that I don't think anybody really goes back and watches all that much, because who's got an hour and 10 minutes to set up aside to go watch Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart when you can watch some of the other matches, which might not go as long, but might be just as good. I think that honestly, even though John Cena is not, tagged to appear, why would you waste John Cena's return on Tough Enough when easily you could put him as a surprise on Monday Night Raw? I know that, it's on the West Coast, but I know that basically Paige did Monday Night Raw last week in San Jose, and she was able to jump on a plane, and she was able to get back to the Performance Center in order to be on Tough Enough on Tuesday. So it's not that impossible for John Cena to be able to do this, because more than likely Paige will be featured on Monday Night Raw. She just have to hop on the same plane and be able to be there. And plus, The Miz is going to be there with Tough Enough as well. So a lot of these people got to get from Monday to Tuesday and go coast to coast. John Cena, I think, would be great as a surprise appearance on Monday Night Raw in the opening segment, or even if they do this in the last. But, Seth Rollins issued a challenge, and I don't see John Cena answering this challenge on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or anything else. John Cena is going to answer this challenge in person, and I think it's going to be in Seth Rollins' face on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night.